our ears open for that. I know Gervonta Davis also fought over the weekend in Atlanta, and he actually came through with the TKO win in the 11th round against Barrios, who actually, from what I've seen of the fight, and when I watched it, he was giving Tank an issue. He was doing good. He was doing good in the fight for the most part.
He was winning.
Yes.
He was winning the fight. Even Floyd came. It's like, hey, look, on the scorecards, you are down. There's a conspiracy out there that Floyd did it to rile Tank up to go out the next round.
Yeah, I did hear. I did hear something that someone was like, "Yo, Floyd probably bet that this fight wasn't even going to go the distance." So he probably was like, "Yo, listen, you're on the card, on the unofficial card, you're down." Because you saw where Tank even said something to him like, "Yo, I just knocked him down. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Listen, I'm here to help you."
Yeah, I'm honest. Yeah.
Don't anybody else. You should respect me because I'm being 100 with you. So it's like why he's wearing like 17 pounds of jewelry on his neck.
Yeah.
Yo, man, like it's one thing I can say is that it's beautiful seeing Floyd Mayweather now being able to be in this next stage if he chooses to stay in this stage, because he did just have a goofy fight recently. I don't know. It was pretty interesting seeing that. Just him being in the corner side of like a great fighter, which is Gervonta Davis. So it was good that he did give him that tip, because Gervonta Davis would have lost and he would have had that scratch on his record. One thing I will say is, because I know you talk about this a lot, about like the celebrity boxing getting too much attention, and like fights like this doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So I did watch the press conference between these two, and I realized why they can't sell a fight like that is because they don't know how to sell a fight. These two are literally, I watched the whole press conference, and I'm like, there's so many better yet, at some point at the end of the press conference, Barrios, the commentator asked Barrios, "Hey, your coach who was out here just talking to Davis's coach that we did a press conference with was like, oh, yeah, Barrios is going to beat the white meat off of him, beat him to the white meat." Commentator says, "Oh, like we all black, so you know what that means, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z." Gervonta Davis is like, well, I mean, he's been training hard, so, we'll see what happens. I do what I can do. Mario Barrios is like, I mean, those are my trainer's words, not mine. Like, when I see that, that shows me exactly why they can't sell a fight.
And when you say that and you bring up that example, that's it, man. I can't dispute that. As much as we may not be fans of the Paul brothers, they know how to sell a fight. Yeah. And they know how to get people invested enough to spend their money to watch them get their ass whooped. Or even though they haven't got their ass whooped, I mean, Logan, he got schooled by Floyd, but what I'm trying to say is they make people care.
Yeah.
And these boxers, they better start stepping it up then, because like you have everybody doing fucking boxing now. Like it's a trend, like Blueface fighting some random fucking
the guy
like
from
this,
The Office.
The guy from The Office.
from Staples.
Yeah, from Staples, hey, you look like you've been in a gym before. We can offer you some money. So like it's the actual elite boxers, you're right, Spence, they're going to have to step it up. And it's kind of like over in the UFC. There's a reason why the stars are who the stars are, because they have a personality. They got some type of charisma. And that's why the UFC gets behind them versus, like, here's a good example. Mike Perry, if he didn't have a personality, he would have been cut from the UFC. He's not a great fighter. He's a real definition of a journeyman, middle of the pack. He loses more than he wins, it seems like. But because of his crazy ass personality and his off the wall, hey, I'm just gonna do shit, say random shit, including the N-word and shit like that.
Because he's 1% black.
Yeah.
From what he says.
They said he stopped.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
So
hey,
he would have been cut if it wasn't for his personality. Let's just say that much.
yeah.
Same thing with Donald Cerrone. His ass would have been cut if he didn't have that whole cowboy personality that he had.
Hey, even speaking of that, even when, and I know we need to close this up pretty soon, but even when you say that, you look at Jorge Masvidal, probably would have got cut had he not built a personality. Granted, he started winning fights, but he added the personality to help push him along the ranks. Kobe Covington.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
well, he would. I don't.
He had talent. He had talent.
Right,
I'll give you that. I'll say this. He had the talent, but it was the talking that helped get him in front of the crowd and made people want to see him fight. And reason why he is looking like he's going to be fighting for the championship again.
Yikes!
And it's it's on, and I'm willing to fight. I'm willing to watch him fight because I bought into the character.
Right. You want to see the guy get knocked out or lose whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why. So when you say what you say about Tank and Barrios, they're sitting there picking their nose and
they both undefeated fighters.
Well, both undefeated, both champions, which they're even though they're 3 pounds apart.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's
a whole nother conversation.
The sham of the sport.
But yeah, I mean, anything you want to say, Nigel, before we get up out of here with the topics?
I'm good. Y'all said pretty much everything. Like, you know what I mean? I watched like the Tank fight. He beat him up. I mean, it was kind of a little back and forth for a little bit, but I mean, like it was cool to see him get the stop.
Yeah, definitely so. In Tank fashion. Just wish like we said, just hopefully he learns how to sell a fight, because now they're talking about what the kid that's been running. I've
Ryan Garcia.
Right. Yeah,
Ryan
Garcia.
Has he fought anybody like recently?
Nah. He's literally been on Twitter for about a good 6 months talking about who he wants to fight, backing out the fight. First it was Pacquiao, then it was Gervonta Davis, Teofimo, Devin Haney. Every time he gets close to making the fight, he always, for some odd reason, I don't know why, for some reason he's not able to come into contract or whatever. And I think he's under Eddie and not Bob. So I mean,
he's as fast as his hands are, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, basically.
Even quicker.
Okay.
Yeah, quick.
His tongue's quicker than his hands, and he finds a way of weaseling himself in and out of fights.
That's the proper terminology, weasel. I mean, like Eddie Hearn comes up, hey man, you're going to be making X. Hey, Eddie, it's just a bad day. Got a quinceañera. Da da da.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh God, yeah. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Ryan Garcia, that's just the way he moves. But I know they are calling for Gervonta Davis, so I mean, that's what we'll. I think there'll be more to see if that fight. I doubt that fight ever happened, but if it does, what they do, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, with that being said, any closing remarks for the audience before we get up out of here?
I want to say, listeners, thank you for tuning in to us. Episode 62. Make sure you check us out at the Highly Advised Podcast on Instagram and YouTube, and Advise Highly on Twitter. Make sure you follow us individually as well. Me, Big Cozy, Too Cozy, Spence, Saint, Kitch, and Nigel. ST.Kitch, and the Kitch is with a K and not a C.
Well, let me spell it. I'll spell it. ST.KITCH.
There you go. Boom. And then for Nigel, relaxing, no G _ Jackson. And when I say no G, don't type in no G. We're just saying there's no G after the relaxing. Yeah, so make sure you follow him. And he's an entertaining individual. And shouts out to everybody.
Boy, be tripping, man. Listen.
Yeah. Boy tripping high.
Boy tripping high, man.
Off that soldier pack, man. Yeah. But nah. I mean, yeah. Make sure everybody go follow us, as well as check out the social media platform. Follow us on, subscribe to us on YouTube, the Highly Advised Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, the Highly Advised Podcast. follow us on Twitter, Advise Highly. So if you want to hear anything else we have to say, any extra comments, you want to communicate with us, leave a comment, like, message, subscribe, like a picture, comment, send a DM, shout us out. We'll shout you out. We're not doing no like for like thing. This isn't 2011, but we'll find a way of making sure that it's mutually exclusive for both of us while also enjoying ourselves as well as enjoying you. So pull up and come through. It's the Highly Advised Podcast. Yeah, cross space of mixed martial arts and hip hop. Go ahead.
And last thing, listeners, for the real listeners or real fans, if you guys ever want to do a call in on the show for a particular segment, talk about anything, hit us up on the DMs and maybe we could talk something or work something out. But you got to be an avid listener, though. We're not doing no 15 minutes of fame. You will be embarrassed and you will be hung out to dry.
Matter of fact, actually scratch that. If you do want your 15 seconds of fame, right? If you got new music and you want us to listen to it, or if you're a fighter and you want us to rate your fights, listen, we will do it unapologetically. Just remember that. You may not like the results, and we'll put the results out for the world to see.
Especially with the music. Some people like handing out trash, man.
Hey,
whoa. Trash to your ears, but maybe gold to others.
Sophisticated listeners here, man.
Sophisticated listeners.
I'll tell you what, Spence might not like ASAP Ant, but not all of his music taste is trash.
I'm not saying nobody's bringing up ASAP Ant. I'm just...
No. Nigel was giving you a compliment.
Oh, gotcha.
Thank you, Lyle.
Listen, man. Hey, man. All of a sudden, I had flashbacks of Lyle for a second, man. That's what it was.
Flashbacks of me. What an underhanded fucking statement. I was trying to just inform you, not just compliment. And you found a way.
All right, are we done, y'all?
Spence with the last word.
Listeners, you've been highly advised. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Drink your water.
Respect, love y'all. Peace.
Yeah, you've been highly advised. Shashaw.